World Wars I and II, two global conflicts etched in human history, reshaped the geopolitical landscape. Studying these epic battles is crucial for understanding strategic decisions and technological advancements. More importantly, it serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the importance of diplomacy. These battles were struggles of ideologies, national identities, and personal sacrifices. Millions perished, leaving behind families shattered and nations scarred. By examining these battles, we learn from the mistakes and triumphs of the past. From the trenches of the Western Front to the beaches of Normandy, each battle holds valuable lessons for all. The First World War introduced the horrors of industrial warfare, a new and terrifying form of conflict that the world had never seen before. With trench warfare becoming synonymous with the conflict, soldiers faced unimaginable conditions, living in mud-filled trenches for months on end. Battles like the Somme and Verdun descended into brutal attritional warfare, where the objective was to wear down the enemy through continuous losses. The Second World War saw the rise of Blitzkrieg, a revolutionary tactic emphasizing speed and mobility, changing the face of warfare once again. German forces achieved stunning early victories using tanks, aircraft, and coordinated infantry assaults, overwhelming their enemies with rapid, decisive strikes. The Battle of Britain showcased the growing importance of air power, as the skies became a crucial battleground for control and dominance. Meanwhile, the Battle of Midway turned the tide against Japan, demonstrating the strategic significance of aircraft carriers and naval aviation. The Treaty of Versailles, signed after World War I, played a significant role in the outbreak of World War II as it imposed harsh penalties on Germany. These harsh penalties created resentment and instability in Germany, leading to widespread economic hardship and political unrest. This environment set the stage for extremist ideologies like Nazism to take root, ultimately leading to another devastating global conflict. The battles of World Wars I and II left an enduring legacy on global politics. The collapse of empires and the rise of new superpowers were direct consequences of these conflicts. The horrors of the Holocaust served as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred. The importance of international cooperation and diplomacy gained new urgency. Understanding these historical events is crucial for navigating modern complexities. By studying the past, we can make more informed decisions about the future. The summer of 1914 began with a misplaced sense of optimism. European nations, confident in their military strength, stumbled into war. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand ignited a chain reaction. Alliances entangled nations in a web of obligations. Germany enacted the Schlieffen Plan, aiming for a swift knockout blow against France. German troops marched through Belgium, violating its neutrality. This act drew Great Britain into the conflict. The British, bound by treaty to defend Belgium, declared war on Germany. The world watched in disbelief as Europe descended into chaos. The initial German advance was swift and brutal. Belgian resistance was quickly overwhelmed, and French and British forces were forced to retreat. The Battle of the Marne, fought in September 1914, proved pivotal. French and British forces launched a counteroffensive, halting the German advance. The Battle of the Marne shattered the illusion of a quick victory. The Schlieffen Plan had failed. The war settled into a bloody stalemate. The Western Front became a labyrinth of trenches. Both sides dug in, seeking protection from relentless artillery fire. Battles on the Western Front became synonymous with unimaginable brutality. The Somme, Verdun, Passchendaele, symbols of trench warfare horrors. Millions perished in these killing fields, often for gains measured in yards. New technologies emerged, each more deadly than the last. The world had never seen such carnage, and the end seemed nowhere in sight. The Eastern Front of World War I was a different kind of conflict. Characterized by vast distances and harsh weather, it saw greater troop movements. The Russian Empire, though vast, was hampered by logistical challenges. Germany and Austria-Hungary faced a formidable foe in Russia. Battles like Tannenberg demonstrated German tactical prowess, but Russia's size made it a difficult enemy to defeat. The Eastern Front saw the rise of military leaders like Paul von Hindenburg and Erich Ludendorff. World War I was not confined to Europe. The Ottoman Empire, allied with Germany, fought in the Middle East. The Gallipoli campaign ended in costly failure for the Allies. In Africa, colonial possessions became battlegrounds. British, French, and German forces clashed in East and Southwest Africa. The war at sea played a crucial role, with Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare bringing the United States closer to war. The sinking of the Lusitania outraged American public opinion. World War I transformed societies, introducing the concept of total war. Governments mobilized entire populations and economies. Rationing, propaganda, and censorship became commonplace. Women filled jobs previously held by men who had gone off to fight. Factories switched to manufacturing weapons and munitions. The war effort demanded shared sacrifice, and civilians bore their share of hardship. The Russian Revolution of 1917, toppling the Tsarist regime, was a direct consequence of the war's impact. The year 1917 marked a turning point in the war. The United States, outraged by Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare, declared war on Germany. American troops, known as doughboys, arrived on the Western Front. Their presence boosted Allied morale and provided reinforcements.
American expeditionary forces played a significant role in key battles.
The American expeditionary forces brought new tactics and technologies. Their fighting spirit and determination proved crucial in breaking the stalemate. By 1918, the tide of war had turned against the Central Powers. Germany faced exhaustion and internal dissent. The Austro-Hungarian Empire began to crumble from within. The Ottoman Empire, stretched to its breaking point, faced Arab revolts. The collapse of these empires had profound consequences for the geopolitical landscape. The Russian Revolution led to Russia's withdrawal from the war. The specter of communism spreading beyond Russia's borders became a growing concern. The armistice of November 11, 1918, ended the fighting, but forging a lasting peace was a challenge. The Treaty of Versailles, imposed on Germany, was harsh and controversial. It held Germany responsible for the war and imposed heavy reparations. Germany was forced to cede territory and limit its military. The treaty sowed seeds of resentment and instability in Germany. The Treaty of Versailles redrew the map of Europe, creating new nations. The collapse of empires created power vacuums and ethnic tensions. The Treaty of Versailles planted seeds for future conflict. Harsh terms imposed on Germany fueled resentment and instability. The German economy struggled under reparations payments. Extremist groups exploited widespread discontent. The Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, emerged from the fringes of German politics. The League of Nations, created to prevent future conflicts, proved ineffective. The League lacked the military power to enforce its decisions. The 1930s witnessed the rise of totalitarian regimes. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party seized power. Hitler's ideology posed a grave threat to the European order. In Italy, Benito Mussolini established a dictatorship. In Japan, militarist leaders embarked on a path of aggression. These dictators exploited the weaknesses of the post-war international order. The League of Nations proved powerless to stop their aggressive actions. The invasion of Poland on September 1, 1939, marked the beginning of World War II. Germany unleashed its Blitzkrieg tactics against Poland. Great Britain and France declared war on Germany. The phony war followed the German conquest of Poland. World War II would prove even more devastating than its predecessor. The conflict engulfed much of the globe. New technologies of warfare, including the atomic bomb, emerged. The echoes of the two world wars reverberate through time. From the ashes of these conflicts emerged a new world order. The battlefields became symbols of human resilience and the costs of war. The stories of these battles are ultimately stories of individuals. The soldiers, pilots, and civilians, their experiences must never be forgotten. It is through their stories that we understand the human cost of conflict. The battles we explored represent turning points in human history. Section 2, The Legacy We Inherit. The world we live in today is a direct result of the events set in motion by the two world wars. These monumental conflicts reshaped borders, economies, and societies, leaving an indelible mark on the global landscape. The global political order, the rise of international organizations, the development of new technologies, all bear the imprint of these conflicts. The establishment of the United Nations aimed to prevent such widespread devastation from occurring again. The lessons learned, often forged in the crucible of battle and paid for in blood and sacrifice, continue to shape our understanding of war, peace, and the fragile nature of international relations. Memorials and monuments stand as solemn reminders of the cost of conflict, the horrors of the Holocaust. A stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred and intolerance served as a catalyst for the creation of international human rights laws and institutions. The Nuremberg trials set precedents for prosecuting war crimes and crimes against humanity. The devastation wrought by the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki ushered in the nuclear age, forever altering the calculus of warfare and highlighting the existential threat posed by weapons of mass destruction. This new era brought about a precarious balance of power. The wars also accelerated social and political changes. Societies were forced to adapt and evolve in response to the immense pressures and transformations brought about by the conflicts. Women who had played vital roles on the home front and in support services gained greater recognition and opportunities in the post-war era. Their contributions during the wars laid the groundwork for future advancements in gender equality and women's rights. The collapse of empires fueled nationalist movements and led to the creation of new nation-states, redrawing the map of the world. This period of decolonization reshaped global politics and gave rise to new nations seeking their place on the world stage. The ideological battle between democracy and communism, which played out on the fringes of World War II, would shape the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. This struggle influenced international relations, alliances, and conflicts throughout the latter half of the 20th century. Section 3. Towards a more peaceful future. As we commemorate the anniversaries of these epochal events, we must remember that the pursuit of peace is an ongoing struggle. It is not merely a historical reflection, but a call to action for each generation to uphold the values of harmony and understanding. The lessons of the world wars, the dangers of nationalism, the importance of diplomacy, the human cost of conflict, remain as relevant as ever. These lessons are not confined to history books, but are living reminders of the consequences of division and the necessity of unity. In an increasingly interconnected world where challenges transcend borders and global cooperation is paramount, understanding the complexities of the past is essential for navigating the uncertainties of the present and building a more peaceful future. The interconnectedness of our modern world means that the ripple effects of conflict can be felt globally, making the pursuit of peace a shared responsibility. The battles of the 20th century serve as a sobering reminder that peace is not a passive state of being, but an active process that requires constant vigilance, dialogue, and a commitment to resolving conflicts through peaceful means. It is a dynamic and ongoing effort that demands the participation of all sectors of society. The institutions and norms of international cooperation that emerged from the ashes of World War II, such as the United Nations and international law, provide a framework for addressing global challenges, but their effectiveness ultimately depends on the will and commitment of individual nations. These institutions are only as strong as the collective resolve of the global community to uphold them. The study of these battles, while reminding us of the horrors of war, also offers glimmers of hope. It shows us that even in the darkest times, humanity's capacity for resilience and compassion shines through. We see the resilience of the human spirit, the courage of individuals who fought for their beliefs, and the enduring power of hope in the face of adversity. These stories of bravery and solidarity inspire us to believe in the possibility of a better world. It is through remembering the past, learning from its mistakes, and honoring the sacrifices of those who came before us that we can strive towards a future where the drums of war are silenced and the pursuit of peace prevails. By fostering a culture of peace and understanding, we can ensure that the lessons of history guide us towards a more harmonious and just world.